The Man That Corrupted Hadleyburg is a piece of short fiction by Mark Twain. It first appeared in Harper's Monthly in December 1899 and was subsequently published by Harper Brothers in the collection The Man That Corrupted Hadleyburg and Other Stories and Sketches, 1900. Some see this story as a replay of the Garden of Eden story and associate the corrupter of the town with Satan. Plot summary. Chapter 1. Hadleyburg enjoys the reputation of being an incorruptible town, known for its responsible, honest people that are trained to avoid temptation. However, at some point the people of Hadleyburg manage to offend a passing stranger, and he vows to get his revenge by corrupting the town. The stranger drops off a sack in Hadleyburg at the house of Edward and Mary Richards. It contains slightly over 160 pounds of gold coins and is to be given to a man in the town who purportedly gave the stranger $20 and some life-changing advice in his time of need years earlier. To identify the man, a letter with the sack suggests that anyone who claims to know what the advice was should write the remark down and submit it to Reverend Burgess, who will open the sack at a public meeting and find the actual remark inside. News of the mysterious sack of gold, whose value is estimated at $40,000, spreads throughout the town and even gains attention across the country. Chapter 2. The residents beam with pride as stories of the sack and Hadleyburg's honesty spread throughout the nation. But the mood soon changes. Initially reluctant to give in to the temptation of the gold, soon even the most upstanding citizens are trying to guess the remark. Edward and Mary, one of the town's 19 model couples, receive a letter from a stranger revealing the remark. "You are far from being a bad man. Go and reform." Mary is ecstatic that they will be able to claim the gold. Unbeknownst to one another, all 19 couples have received identical letters. They submit their claims to Burgess and begin to recklessly purchase things on credit in anticipation of their future wealth. Chapter 3. The town hall meeting to decide the rightful owner of the sack arrives, and it is packed with residents, outsiders, and reporters. Burgess reads the first two claims, and a dispute quickly arises between two townspeople who have submitted nearly the same remark. To settle which is right, Burgess cuts open the sack and finds the note that reveals the full remark. "You are far from being a bad man. Go and reform, or, mark my words, someday, for your sins you will die and go to hell or Hadleyburg. Try and make it the former." Neither man's claim includes the entire remark. The next claim reads the same, and the town hall bursts into laughter at the obvious dishonesty behind the incorrect claims. Burgess continues to read the rest of the claims, all with the same partial remark, and one by one the prominent couples of the town are publicly shamed. Edward and Mary await their name with anguish, but surprisingly it is never read. With all the claims presented, another note in the sack is opened. It reveals that the stranger fabricated the entire scenario in order to avenge himself for the offense he suffered while traveling through Hadleyburg. He says that it was foolish for the citizens to always avoid temptation, because it is easy to corrupt those who have never had their resolve tested. Burgess discovers that the sack contains not gold but gilt and lead pieces. A townsperson proposes to auction the lead off and give the money to Edward and Mary, the only prominent couple in town that did not have their name read off. Edward and Mary are in despair, unsure whether to come clean and stop the auction or to accept the money. The stranger who set up the whole scheme in the first place is revealed to have been in the town hall the whole time. He wins the auction, then makes a deal to sell the sack to one of the townspeople for $40,000 and give $10,000 of that money to Edward and Mary. He gives them $1,500 cash at the meeting and promises to deliver the remaining $8,500 the next morning, once his buyer has paid him. Chapter 4. The following day the stranger delivers checks totaling $38,500 to Edward and Mary, the remainder of the $40,000 selling price. Mary recognizes him as the man who dropped off the sack. As they fret over whether they should burn the checks, they find a note from the stranger explaining that he thought all 19 model couples would fall to temptation. Since Edward and Mary have remained honest, he is giving them all the money. A second message arrives from Burgess, explaining that he intentionally kept the Richards's claim from being read, as a way to return an old favor Edward had done for him. The buyer has the fake gold coin stamped with a message mocking his political rival and distributes them throughout the town, allowing him to win an election for a seat in the state legislature. Edward and Mary become distraught over their situation, growing paranoid and starting to think Burgess has revealed their dishonesty to other people in the town. Their anxiety causes them both to fall ill, and Edward confesses their guilt shortly before he and Mary die. The checks are never cashed. With its reputation irreparably damaged, Hadleyburg decides to rename itself and remove one word from its official motto. Originally, lead us not into temptation. The story ends with the comment, "It is an honest town once more, and the man will have to arise early that catches it napping again." End of the summary. Thank you.